Hi everyone, I'm Ken from CryptoTradingKS. If you're new, welcome, and welcome back KS family. Let's run the numbers. Bitcoin currently up 0.17% to 44,081. Ethereum up 1.54% to 3146. From my 30 plus years in financial markets, I explain the smart money mindset to assist you to be more of a financial blessing to yourself and those you love, gaining real wealth in the process. If you would like daily updates on price movements in the crypto market 7 days a week, 365 days a year, please subscribe to YouTube. If you're going through a life pullback at the moment, please know that the sun will come out again. There's always hope. You're not alone. And our love and healing thoughts as a community are with you. Crypto technical analysts focus on maintaining a positive excellence life trend, one of integrity, decency, kindness, gratitude and happiness, inner and outer peace. Obtaining this real wealth is really important. Having a lot of money is great, but you don't have meaning just because you have money. You have to look into real wealth to get meaning out of life. I'd just like to let the Masterclass students know I've released 4 videos, LV10 using inverse bond prices to stack Bitcoin probabilities, LV11 predicting pullbacks in the Nasdaq, LV12 war sentiment, LV13 recession prediction, how close are we to one? In the crypto market, no alt can escape Bitcoin's gravity. This is rule 45. The entire crypto market is moved by Bitcoin, and Bitcoin is currently trading at 44,052. We can see this particular level has been a very strong resistance level at 44,402. Price has come up repeatedly to try and breach this 44,402 level. It's not having a lot of success, but it is getting there. There was a very big move up on the 14th of Feb because of the easing of tension in Russia and Ukraine. What we actually see here is price coming down, finding a level of support and seeking to attack this 44,402 level. We saw a very similar thing with this upward resistance line that was playing out around 43,060. We needed a big push to get through there. I think actually what is happening right now is that we're actually accumulating power to forge through this 44,402 level, then the 45,135 level. Support and resistance can be quite hard to understand, so why don't we bring in Percy, the magnetic price sheet? You can think of Percy as the actual price of Bitcoin, and these lines as fences. If Percy has a fence above him, it's resistance, and it tends to push down. For example, here, push down. When Percy gets a bit of a run up, he can actually jump these fences, but he needs a lot of power. When he has a lot of power, when the momentum is there, it's possible that he can jump a few fences, but when he reaches a resistance level, he's going to get magnetized back to a support level to try to attack it again, and then back. This is the way that it goes. If he drops down through a support level, he will typically hit a lower support level. And if there is sufficient momentum inside the market, he will try to get back to resistance. We can see how well fences and price, magnetic price sheet Percy actually explains support and resistance. Professional traders and investors always make in advance probabilistic choices. They know what they'll do if price goes down, goes up, or goes sideways. When people just enter the crypto market, they hold on to one specific stance. It will go down only, or it will go up only. Price is not like that inside the crypto market. Price is incredibly volatile. It can do all 3 things just in a span of a couple of days. There is no certainty inside the crypto market, but there is probability. What is the probability that Percy can get through 44,402? Percy's certainly trying very hard. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. When Percy actually gets through 44,402, he's going to liquidate a lot of sellers going short on this level, which could push Percy above the 45,135 mark. just like what we saw down here at 43,077. What is the probability? Price is always negatively biased in the crypto market, in all markets actually. So you always have to be prepared for price to go down before it goes up. Price is always moving in a wave as well. What are the possible scenarios? We could get price consolidating around the 43,458 level. There's quite a lot of fences down here of various types. We could see a technical violation taking us down to 41,933. It is possible. It's more likely that we'll hit this level and consolidate and seek to bounce up. But in all things, we need to stack probabilities. The first probability is the Fear and Greed Index. It's currently neutral at 51. What this is basically telling us is more and more confidence is being restored, and this will drive higher prices. So this is one probability that is positive. Another thing that we can do is to look at the options expiring at the end of the month for Bitcoin and see if they're positive or negative by nature. We can see the put call ratio 0.7, which indicates a lot of upward price potential in the options market. Max paying price is 41,000, where the majority of the options expire worthless. We can see a lot of open interest at the $50,000 mark. This is further reinforcing evidence that we would expect upward price momentum, but it's not certain. It's just a probability, and we need to keep stacking. Masterclass students, when using the EC method, you will see something really interesting here. When we look at futures open interest, there's quite a correlation between the total volume of futures open interest and Bitcoin's price. We tend to see when the open interest increases, Bitcoin's price increases. When it comes down, it comes down. We've seen this time and time again. It's a very good predictor. What are we actually seeing here? We're seeing an overcoming of a level of resistance. We're seeing upward price momentum. This is very positive for positive movement in Bitcoin's price. And we know Bitcoin rules the crypto market. Bitcoin's fingerprint plays out on every single alt. Let's have a quick look into the technical patterns of the top 8. We can see Bitcoin has been coming down for quite a period of time. It's found a level of support at 41,788. It has a higher level of resistance of 47,658. It could be more than possible to come back and retest. Even though there's potential price momentum on a positive direction, it doesn't mean that it's just going to go straight up. The key is price is always moving in a wave. The more we retest certain levels, the stronger they become. We can see with Ethereum, resistance above 3268, support below 3003. We can see Binance Coin currently trading at 426. It is a level of resistance above at 488, a level of support below at 397. XRP is looking really good. This is a very strong technical pattern, and it shows strength. And when you see strength, that's actually what you want to back in the crypto space. We can see that XRP is currently trading at 84.26, resistance above 99.16, support below 76.29. Cardano is actually looking quite weak, but consolidating around the 1033 level. It has resistance above at 1227 and 1444. Solana looking a little bit better than ADA at the moment, but still looking kind of weak. We can see support below at 90.98, resistance above at 116.87. AVAX has been on a tear. Don't forget, what comes up goes down, and what goes down comes up. If it falls off the cliff or falls down the lift shaft, it'll come back up the stairs, and it does so the other way. When it goes up the wall, it goes down the stairs. We've seen a bit of positive price action, but it's actually reaching a level of resistance. We could get a pullback here, and crypto is very spiky by nature, so just be aware of this. When you scale into different things, scale in at levels of support below the current price and wait for price to come to you. Do not go all in and more. That is a surefire way to waste a lot of money. Luna, we can see reaching upwards towards resistance at 58.06, support below at 48.20. We can also see that Luna's getting above a level of tight resistance here, and it's being supported underneath. It could be quite good to get into, but always buy at support levels below. What you'll actually find as a professional trader and investor, and all investors become traders whenever they buy or sell, you make profit where you buy. All the analysis we do here is through crypto technical analysis, and crypto technical analysts are in control professionals. They understand volatility and they're in control emotionally. When people get into the crypto market, they inhabit zones 1 and zones 2, which is the panic and the blame zone. People typically buy on the green and sell on the red, and they actually pretty much go all in. In any time there's negative news in the market, they will light switch out because they want certainty. They're addicted to checking the news and indicators. They have a singular focus only on their crypto. They don't care about the broader market, and the stock market wouldn't even enter into consciousness. These people are guaranteed to lose money in the crypto market because of the incredible volatility. Zone 1 and Zone 2 has a lot of stress and sleepless nights. This can be overcome by getting into Zone 3 and Zone 4. In Zone 3 and Zone 4, we're all about calmness, inner and outer peace, and patience. We stack probabilities. We buy on the red and sell on the green. We buy when price is coming down at support levels below, and we sell at resistance levels above, and we scale out. We have probabilistic fearlessness. We simply trade the chart that we view. We use the CTKS method, which is the only method specifically designed for cryptos, exponential price action. We make volatility our best friend. We love black swans, and we have what's called a 10-5-10 volatility fund. We also approach the market very, very scientifically. Crypto technical analysts scientifically track investor attention, and investor attention is measured by price, which is reality, not future promises. It's really easy to get into any investment based on a promise, but price is the reality, and we track the reality. The first thing that we do is that we understand the focus is to get into Zone 3 and Zone 4, away from Zone 1 and Zone 2 as quickly as possible. To do that, we require a lot of foundations. The CTKS method is about drawing your support and resistance lines. Next, we look outside the market. We have to check world events, collect probabilities, check the stock markets, because crypto and other markets are interdependent. I'll show you how interdependent later. Next, we get into timing, which is finding the market's focus, understanding that opportunities reset every day, and enhancing our pattern recognition skills. The next thing is we must understand the nature of real wealth and gain emotional control. If we can't control our emotions, it doesn't matter how much knowledge we have. We simply will not be able to execute buy and sells correctly, which actually brings us to the trigger section, making volatility our best friend and patiently applying the 10-5-10 rule. Many people, when they join the crypto market, they're interested in the volatility, the increasing returns of crypto, and the promise that it offers. Crypto is a very small market. It's about $2 trillion compared to the stock market and the bond market, each of which are around $120 trillion. Crypto is really tiny. We're just in the early stages of adoption, and we haven't even taken off yet. What it means is crypto has a massive growth potential. It's a market that will be around for a very, very long time. Why is that? Because crypto is the ownership layer of the Internet of Value. It has a very specific use case. Crypto will absolutely change the world, just as the Internet did. And a lot of people don't understand what crypto actually is. It's the ownership of decentralization of the internet and the transmission of value through the internet as well. When we look at the stock market and various data, we're doing so because we need to know, is the price of Bitcoin, stacking of probabilities, is it likely to go up or to go down? And this is the real issue. A lot of people say, for example, the Nasdaq has nothing to do with Bitcoin at all. There's no correlation. Sometimes things phase in and out, that is for sure. But you can see the Nasdaq movements here. It's pretty much on par with what's happening inside the crypto industry. You can see it's important to look at. Every day we go through this analysis. We want to understand what's happening inside the major stock markets because they're so big. Their gravity will impact crypto. We can see a decrease in fear, which is witnessed by an increase in price. We can also see that oil is coming down, which has deflationary pressure. And that's a good thing because inflation is just out of control. When it comes to economic concern, we can see there's less and less economic concern in the US market, witnessed by falling bond prices. We can see bond yields increasing, which means it's a risk-on activity, which is really good for Bitcoin because Bitcoin is about the riskiest thing you could ever be involved with. But if you know how to actually time things, it's one of the best investments you'll ever make. When it comes to geopolitical risk, we look at gold. This can give us an insight into the Russia-Ukraine business and also understand how Evergrande and the Great Wall of Chinese debt is actually playing out inside the market. We can see we've had an uptick in gold's price. Geopolitical risk is on the increase. When we look at the demand for the US dollar, we can see there was a bit of a falling off. It's hit a support level. It's just wandering along that at the moment. What does this mean for the stacking of probability for Bitcoin? Fear is coming out of the market. That's a good thing because we would expect prices to continue to increase. The fact that oil is coming down is actually really good, even though gold is spiking, which tends to disagree with each other because this is more likely driven by the Russian crisis unfolding at the moment. We can see that's all risk-on behavior, and this is really good for Bitcoin. The key to remember, if you just want a very simple, very simplistic explanation of what happens in a highly complex environment, you're not going to get it. And if somebody tells you something that's really simple, they're probably wrong. It's all about stacking probabilities. You'll get some pluses and some minuses. In zone 1 and 2, any negative news will force people to go literally all out of the market. What we do by stacking probabilities, we see some fairly good news here. We're just keeping our eye on geopolitical risk and inflation at the moment. Rule 250, never a light switch. Please, under all conditions, don't switch all in or all out. One way to check that geopolitical risk is look at the war sentiment. These major defense stocks, what do we see? Basically a bit of a leveling out. We've got some degree of uptick here. It's a little bit undecided. The markets have reacted well to the release of the meeting minutes of the Fed. We saw the Nasdaq coming up. The 10-year and 5-year inflation or break-even inflation rates are both increasing. This is really positive for Bitcoin. Bitcoin loves inflation. We can also see that gold is on a bit of a tear up. And silver has had a little bit of a retracement. When these two go out of alignment, we take particular attention because gold is basically driven by a lot of things, but geopolitical risk is a major one. When we have a look around the world at the C19 cases, we can see about 418 million, and we've got a decrease in the daily deaths. But as we have a look at yesterday's figures, we had an increase in new cases around 500,000. If the economy shuts down, that would mean the transport will shut down with it. So what do we see in the transportation indexes? We can see them recovering along with the Nasdaq, and this is quite normal. When the Nasdaq goes up, the transportation indexes also do. And what have we seen here? With the airlines index, this looks really good. We've got a recovery play in process. This is the market saying, I want to reopen. Chinese property market sentiment is improving just slightly. We're getting a technical bounce here. We'll have to keep our eye on this. I think this could be the new FUD when Russia disappears from the headlines. I think it will be replaced by Evergrande and the Great Wall of Chinese debt. But so far so good. We can see the Russian market actually rebounding in price. When there's the threat of war, the Russian market has come down. When it has an easing of that, we can see it coming up. This is actually good, but we're getting a conflicting price message from gold. When you look at outside trends, it's never an easy process. You have to hold a lot of things in your mind, and we're just stacking probabilities. We'll keep our eye on gold, but the rest of the indicators look pretty good. Let's have a look into timing. Remember, opportunities reset every day, just like in life, and we want to enhance pattern recognition. A community member reached out and said, Ken, could you do the Metaverse? That could be really interesting. Of course I will. I love to do things that help out the community, our beloved KS family. Let's have a look at the Metaverse. You can see a wide variety here. What we're actually looking at, the top performer over this period of time, dating back to October 21, is Sand. What's the next one? This is a really good way when you have multiple things on a chart just to drill in and see what it is. It's Mana. The other way you can do it is just to select on it and you'll see Mana as well. What's this guy? This is UOS. What about this one? CHR. And the final one, WAXP. So we can see a couple of leaders here. What we're actually looking for is strength. When we see strength inside the crypto market, when we see Percy's breaking out of a level of resistance, a fence, that's when we get pretty excited. Or also we see a really sharp downturn because we're buying at support levels down. These can be very, very profitable trades. And remember, all investors become traders anytime they buy or sell. A lot of investors don't know how to actually do support and resistance levels and read the footprints of price. That is a very expensive thing not to be able to do. The Metaverse and NFTs are quite intertwined, so I thought it would be really nice to actually look through the top NFT players, going from about, for example, the 9th of November 21. What do we see out in front? Gala doing really, really well, followed by SYS, followed by Sand. What is the next one? Rose is a pretty good project, followed by Mana. This gives you an idea because we've seen in the past analysis on the Metaverse that Mana was here, so we're getting quite a degree of outperformance in the NFT space. You can see that because Mana is this line down here. So these NFT plays are really, really powerful. Turning to the community favorites, VRA Veracity is just under resistance. You know that's like a fence, and Percy is the price. That's why I named him Percy, because I thought, well, that name's close to price. So when you get up close to a resistance fence, you can expect to be magnetized away towards support. Just bear these things in mind. Icon is about midway. It's closer to support than resistance. What about Rose? Rose is just bubbling along at the present time. It has a fairly good support level at 28,536, resistance above at 38,038. What about IOTA? IOTA has been under quite a lot of price resistance at the moment, but you can see it's following Bitcoin's gravity. Just keep your eye on this blue line. That is Bitcoin's gravity. You can see how VRA how Icon is tracking some divergence in rows, and you can see what's happening with IOTA. Keeping your eye on Bitcoin's gravity is really, really good. Loop ring, just a little bit weaker than Bitcoin's gravity, but no alt can escape Bitcoin's gravity. When things get going, they really get going, and they can change around dramatically. YGG just following Bitcoin's gravity at the moment. CRV is just under resistance at 3580. Looking at CHR, we've got support at 5008 and resistance at 6563. If you're interested in the CryptoTradingKS Masterclass, please hop along to www.cryptotechnicalanalysis.org. You can actually reach out to a CTKS ambassador and just contact them by Twitter to get an 80% off discount code. And if you want to understand more about what the masterclass is about, you can see the reason that I created it here in this video. And you can also read through a wide variety of different testimonials from people who have gone or are going through the masterclass. I hope you found the content useful. Please consider sharing and liking this video if you think it will help others. Thank you to our moderators for keeping our community safe from scammers, and the CTKS ambassadors for mentoring masterclass students. If you would like daily updates on price movements in the crypto market 7 days a week, 365 days a year, please subscribe to YouTube. I've left helpful links in the description of this video, such as the CryptoTradingKS Masterclass. Please seek out an ambassador to get 80% off. Please remember, crypto is volatile. Always prepare yourself for the best and worst case scenarios. Reality will likely be between them. Stay safe out there, my friends. Take care and see you next time. Bye for now.